at the grounds where the state funeral is happening, the final state funeral for the departed eight. Just in the shots ahead are some parliamentarians who have made their way to this place, and behind me you can see a number of them trooping into the venue because it's a state funeral, and every Tom, Dick and Harry, so far as it comes to government issues or whichever political party you belong to, would have to make it to this place. I can see Honorable Dafian Paul. Let me try and engage you, Honorable Dafian Paul, before he takes his seat. Honorable wants to sit before. Okay, so like I indicated, you've seen a number of parliamentarians coming in here, and in there is the majority leader, Honorable Mahama Ayariga, who has also made his way to the venue to get seated so that the event can begin. And I can tell you for a fact that we have a lot of security officers here. The Ashanti Regional Minister, I've seen him here. I've also seen the Volta Regional Minister here, James Gunu here, among other dignitaries. Mind you, within the inner perimeter has been designated for a selected few, but outside the inner perimeter you can see a number of these dignitaries who have made it to this place to pay their last respect to the fallen heroes. And the state officers are here. The Ghana National Fire Service have their men here. You see the Chief Fire Officer too, who has also made her way to this place, among other things. So soon we'll be moving into the inner perimeter to have conversations with some of the individuals that have made their way to this place, especially to the family and also to government officials who are here to pay their last respect to the departed heroes. That is the 8th, which tragic incident happened on August 6, 2025, which was a very sad one. Traditional authorities have also made their way here. I've seen some traditional authorities from all places, especially from the Teshi area, where you have the Teshi Chief, who ni Akonfra. He has also made his way to this place. So we'll be moving to the inner perimeter and find out from some of the people who have made it to this. But before we go, let's speak to the Jomoro MP who has made it to this place. Just briefly, her thoughts about the final state funeral that is happening for the departed 8, a very significant day for everybody. Madam, good morning, and welcome to Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV.
Good morning.
I trust you are doing well.
Doing well, but not well. And I'm sure you know why. I mean, it's a very sad day for all of us as a country, for the whole world, and for some of us who are very close, had a personal relationship with them. It's very difficult. It's hard. I just couldn't sleep all night, and I couldn't believe it that today is actually there. You know, we're seeing them off like that. It's really sad. It's very painful. We're all broken. We're all broken. You know, working for the love of the country, and taking their lives, being taken off like that is so sad. I know one day all of us will die, but the way they left is very painful. But you know, they are heroes, and their memories will forever, their legacy will forever live in our hearts, because they've actually sacrificed their lives for the love of the country. You know, so
I'm sure you worked very closely with Honorable Mutala, because he was in Parliament and you are also there. What do you have to say about that fine gentleman we have lost?
We've lost a person who is full of life, very intelligent man. I mean, he's a role model and a very good friend to me. When he stands up to debate and to do things, I mean, really, for me, I have a lot of memories of him. He has a personal jokes with me. He'll be teasing me, Jomoro. He has a name, he calls me a boot. And so we had that personal relationship. And aside from that, his personal relationship with people and the knowledge that he brings to Parliament, it's gone. I don't know who can replace him, but because the guy was full of knowledge in whatever he does it excellently on the floor of Parliament. In everything he does it with dignities, and so he'll be missed. He'll be missed.
And aside him, I'm sure that ahead of the 2024 elections, you had some encounter, or you really engaged Dr. Omane Boamah the late. Some few words about him and what you really have to say about Dr. Omane Boamah.
Dr. Omane Boamah is a fine wonderful guy. He's a good friend of mine as well. During the election, because of what I went through, my court case, he was there for me. Even throughout the whole process when I was going through court, he was always there. So during the election, he told me he would make sure that my seat would be protected, and he actually did it. And so for me, I had that personal relationship. I remember when my name was called for the last 4 appointments, he was the first person to call. In fact, he sent me a message at 3:30 a.m. congratulating me, and I said, Honorable, please don't tease me, because there had been a lot of stuff going on.
So you want to say that you didn't know about it? He actually broke the news to you?
He actually broke the news to me, and I said, stop teasing me. He said, oh, coming from me, take it serious. And so I had that relationship with him. I mean, a very personal relationship. He's a nice person to everybody, humble, always there for everybody. I mean, you can tell from all the testimonies that were said about him. He was just a good man and a wonderful man. Ghana, we have really lost great heroes and great men of this land, and we are praying that such a calamity would never fall on this country again, because I mean the way they departed is so heartbroken, and we are praying for the family, we are praying for His Excellency the President, we are praying for the whole nation. It's not been easy for all of us, especially those of us that had that personal relationship. They were colleagues in Parliament and also knew them. It's been very difficult, so we are praying that the good Lord Himself will give them internal rest and also console the whole nation. We have to rise as a country to pray against such calamities.
And finally, final 2 questions from me. As a mother yourself, what would be your message to the wives of these departed heroes, and also the children as well?
When you haven't been through it, you can only say, you know what, you understand. But I lost my mother. I mean, I haven't gone to that place yet, and so I pray not. But it is difficult. Even my mother, who was 80-something years old and died of a natural death, I didn't take it easy, let alone these husbands. They told their wives they are going to work and they'll be back, and they never came back. It's really a heartbroken, and so my heart goes out to the family, the wives, the children, the parents. We are praying, we are asking the good Lord to strengthen them and to be with them, and I'm sure we'll all stand with them. For those of them that are colleagues, like Honorable Muntala, I told the wife that we'll be there for them, the children, everything. We will as a country support them. So we are praying for the good Lord to strengthen the family, especially the wives and the children.
And finally, from me, as a deputy transport minister, we've seen too many road crashes on our roads. What will be your word to motorists who are applying our various roads, how careful they should be, so that we don't record the many accidents or the many road crashes and leading to deaths on the various roads?
Well, thank you. Because of what we are dealing with today, I will beg of you not to say much about it, but I'll speak to what is happening today, that as we are driving here, I will take this opportunity to advise everybody to take their time in driving, so that they will, because we don't want to hear anything happening that, oh, on their way to the funeral, ABCD happened. We are praying against that, and so we are admonishing them to take care of what is coming here. And I'm happy for the arrangement that His Excellency the President, through the Chief of Staff, put in place, that is making sure that everything is going accordingly. And so I will just admonish that everybody will take their time in coming here and make sure that we give them the last respect, and we wouldn't have any calamities as we come here. And at the end of it all, we'll give glory to God. But then later on, I can engage you to talk about the rampant road accidents that we are dealing with.
Grateful, Honorable. Thank you so much, and all the best. Thank you so much, Honorable. And she has indicated, she has said a number of things. Her word to the family, her word to the wife of these departed heroes. She has shared her fondest memories of Dr. Mutala Muhammad, who has passed on, and Dr. Edward Omanibuama, both individuals. She says that she worked with closely with Dr. Omanibuama. She worked with closely during her time when she was contesting the Jomoro seat, and also issues that came as a result of the seat and all that. Dr. Omanibuama held her hands and tried to resolve the issue. Fast forward, upon getting the appointment as a deputy transport minister, she indicated that she didn't even know of the appointment until Dr. Omanibuama called her to inform her that, Honorable, congratulations, you've been nominated or you've been appointed as the transport minister. She also shared the fondest memories she has of Dr. Mutala Ibrahim Mohammed, that in Parliament, Dr. Ibrahim really helped her a lot during that period in Parliament. So now this is what is happening here. A number of individuals have trooped in here to pay their last respect and also to solidarize with the various families, sympathize with them as well, and also pay their last respect as are indicated to the various families as the 6 will be buried today. Mind you, the 2 have been buried already there. Islamic or the Muslims have already buried.
1, 2, 3, 4,
that is
5.
Dr.
Checks
Ibrahim
out,
Mutala
1, 2.
and also Al-Haji Limuna Muniru has also been buried already. So today we are looking at the 6 that will be buried. So now we've come to
1,
the place
2,
where
3, 4,
most
5.
of the family members are and also the dignitaries are who have come in here in their numbers to pay their last respect. And I can tell you, everybody here is clad in a form of black, just to also pay that last respect. But let me engage some few people here who are really speaking about their fondest memories of the various people here. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Philip.
Good morning.
I trust you're doing well.
I'm good, bye.
What's your name?
Dramani Bukhari.
And you are?
I'm cousin to Alhaji Mohammed Muniru Limuna.
Wow, cousin. Share with us some of the fondest memories of Alhaji Limuna Muniru.
Well, what I remember very frankly about him is the fact that he was a very straightforward person, forthright in what he does. He had always mentioned to me that, look, on the day that he's no more, he wants to be remembered for the many people's lives that he's touched. And indeed, he did live that life, supporting and sacrificing so much for many people who came his way with problems and challenges. When we went into opposition after the 2016 elections, he consolidated that effort by establishing the Timawata Foundation. And through that foundation, he supported a lot of people with medical care or health care. He supported young people who are brilliant but couldn't afford to attain education at the higher levels. He supported farmers who were within the vicinity of the Damangwe and Bosunu area to be able to earn a livelihood for themselves. I mean, he was quite very religious as well. And there was never a time that you would find that it's time for prayers and he doesn't stop whatever that he is doing to go and attend to that spiritual call before he continued with that. And many times his remark was that all that we do except the worship was vanity, and that we should at all points put that first.
Wow.
It's my hope that all of that is paying well, that all of that is leading him to the higher heavens at Jannatul Firdaus.
Wow. It's a good one. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time. Thank you so much for your time. So you can see there a cousin of Alhaji Limuna
Right.
Muniru. Well, Nana, this is what we are bringing you here. We will share with you a lot more of the
Right.
people
Thank you, Philip.
that are here. Yeah.
Very well, Philip. Thank you. We'll come back to you as and when for you to give us some more updates. But today, the state is holding a funeral for the fallen 8 who are victims of that unfortunate helicopter crash on August 6th. They did not make it, did not survive, died in the most horrid circumstances. Our hearts go out to the families of the victims. We continue to commiserate with them. We console them as well. We pray that the good Lord himself will give them strength. But this is our live coverage of that state funeral for the fallen 8. What is expected to happen is a funeral for all 8, but then the burial service or interment will be for 6, because 2 have already been laid to rest according to Islamic rites. The 2 will be Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed and Alhaji Muniru Limuna Mohammed. Until his demise, acting Deputy National Security Coordinator. They have been laid to rest according to Islamic rites. Today, a funeral service is being held for all 8, but 6 will be buried or interred later today after the funeral service, which is expected to have full military honors today. A number of things have happened following that August 6 crash. Quite unfortunate, heartbreaking as it is, but the state has been actively involved and taking charge of all that has happened subsequently. There was a flower laying and candlelight ceremony. Then there was a remembrance and memorial night held for them. Vigils have been held across the country, especially by groups that these individuals were associated with while alive. The Air Force has held its own vigil. Last night, we saw students' leaders, the National Union of Ghana Students and its past leaders march from the University of Ghana, Legon, to the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA, in memory of their past leaders, Dr. Edward Omane Boama and Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed. The Christ the King Parish here in Accra also had a vigil for Dr. Omane Boama and squadron leader Peter Bafemi Anala, who until their demise were members of the church. So, like I said, a number of activities have happened subsequently, and today is the final funeral rites being held by the state to honor the memory of these gallant heroes who committed themselves to service of Mother Ghana. This is our live coverage. We'll be there until the final hour, where we get to say our final goodbyes to these 8 individuals. We'll be looking at the various, activities that are expected to happen. We'll bring you an overview of even the setup, the arrival of the president, the arrival of the vice president, and the dignitaries that are expected to show up today. Definitely tributes are going to be read, and of course, we'll take you through all the proceedings of this state funeral. Quite difficult for us and all Ghanaians at this moment. We wish the families strength, and we pray that the good Lord himself will console them. But in studio, I have with me Richard De La Sky. Good morning. Good to have you.
It's not exactly a good morning,
well,
but I'm honored to be here.
Good to have you. And then we have Francisca Kakra-Forson. Good to have you as well.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, quite a difficult time for us as all Ghanaians. And today is the day that has been set for the funeral of the late 8 men who died in service to the country. It's been difficult for me particularly because I remember on the 6th, I had to go on air to announce this unfortunate news. While doing it, my mind and my heart was with the families of these individuals, wondering in what position they were, if they had already been or communicated to or had received this news, as hard-hitting as it was, even for me as a journalist, how much more the families involved. But we've come a long way since then. Today we lay them to rest. If you can share your personal experience since August 6th till now, what has your thoughts been regarding this particular unfortunate incident? Richard, I'll start with you on this matter.
You know, some people say that death is the grand leveler. Others say that death makes no sense of all things, right? But others believe that death is just the beginning. So, depending on where you stand, your viewpoint as to what has happened would differ from someone else who holds an entirely different position and stands on that to articulate his own perspectives as to what will happen thereafter. It is a difficult one. These are some of the finest brains Ghana has had. Unfortunately, they have had to depart so soon. I feel it as someone who's worked closely with a number of them, particularly the politically exposed ones or the politicians in there. The military men, not so much, except one who I happened to have encountered when I was at the 37 Military Hospital carrying out some assignment there. So otherwise, it's been difficult, really, really difficult to process their demise, difficult to actually come to terms with the fact that they are no more and that they have created a huge void, difficult to be able to, you know, reflect over the situation of their children. Because if you look at it, these were men who were largely loved by their families. I mean, you talk about Omani Boama and his relationship with the immediate family. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You see him at school events when he's out there supporting the children during speech and prize giving days, and the relationship, you know, remarkable. And I was not surprised when I heard yesterday that the kids were paying glowing tribute to him for how he guided them, how he supported them in their education and all of that. And I can say the same for, you know, Dr. Murtala Mohammed, you know, another good friend of mine who always called me comrade. There were many things we would disagree on, but we always have profound love and respect for each other. And you can say the same for Limuna in terms of his relationship with fellow, you know, citizens of this country. A man who was not, you cannot call him a giddy man as we usually, I mean, very respectful of others' opinions. And it's really, really difficult for me, the family especially, I don't know for the generality of the Ghanaian people. I can only say that in these difficult moments, the best thing we can do is to reflect over what they will be telling us if they were here. What would they be saying if they were here? I'm sure they will be saying that, look, grieve not for me, the soldier on from where we landed. Pick up the mantle, pick up the fight, continue to inspire others, continue to inspire love, affection, continue to serve the Republic in the best way you can. And if it comes to illegal mining, take the very best decisions that are in the interest of the Republic. And that is where it hurts me, that even as we were trying to deal with the difficulties of their law, their departure, then we had news of some people trading, you know, bullets with the police in a certain part of this country over illegal mining. Truly tragic. I would have thought that by now, our own actions as citizens, regardless of how hungry we may be, would pay glowing tribute to the fight they were on prior to their demise. Completely unacceptable.
Indeed.
So those are the things I would say immediately about how much of a big loss they are for this country.
Indeed. Francisca, let me come to you for your own sentiments about the passing of these 8, even before we look at the activities expected to happen today.
I think that, like the rest of Ghanaians, we all feel the loss. The whole nation is under a cloud of grief. And I think at the national level, the activities that have ensued since August 6th, I beg your pardon, has shown that we unite in this period of mourning and of tragedy. I think that today being the day for the state burial, the state funeral, is a final send-off for myself and the rest of Ghanaians. And the expectation is that today is significant, but after today, there are some tough questions that we have to start asking. There are demands that we have to make of authority. And so these are things that we'll reflect on, but at the same time, today is a day that we remember and honor those who have departed.
Very well. So at this ceremony today, which is expected to start right about now, pre-burial program from 7:30 a.m. till 9 a.m. We're expecting the Vice President and the President to arrive, and then the state service will commence after their arrival. It's a 3-hour ceremony which is expected to feature the reading of biographies of all 8 crash victims, tributes from widows, children, government officials, and institutional representatives. Now, following the service, the remains of 6 of the victims will be transported to the military cemetery at Chado for interment, with burial rites jointly overseen by the Ghana Armed Forces and the respective churches of the deceased. Just a brief background: the August 6 helicopter crash claimed 8 lives. 2 victims, Alhaji Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed and Alhaji Muniru Mohammed Limuna, were buried on Sunday, August 10, in accordance with Islamic customs. Those to be buried on August 15, which is today, include Dr. Edward Omanibuama, Dr. Samuel Sapong, Mr. Samuel Abuaje, Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Manain Chum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. So that's what's expected to be happening today. Let's look at the President, John Dramani Mahama. He is the President. Almost all these men are direct appointees of his, but he shares personal relationships with all these men at different levels. Take Samuel Sapong. John Dramani Mahama belongs to the NDC. Samuel Sapong, Vice Chair of the NDC. As for the ministers, direct appointees. For Samuel Abuaje, until recently, he was the parliamentary candidate for Boise East on the ticket of the NDC. And we understand he was appointed a deputy NADMO coordinator. So if you look at the president as an individual, sharing relationships with these men at different levels, but having to muster courage and appear before camera because he still has work to discharge as president, how difficult of a time will this be for him?
See, that's the impossibility of leadership. Crisis, troubles, trials, tribulations like this bring the very best out of us. Their lives may have been cut short, but this moment represents a turning point in my view. And it could either cement the legacy of President John Dramani Mahama in history in a truly warm and rewarding way in terms of what the history books come to write about him. Or it would basically show that even after some have made the ultimate sacrifice, we still did not find a leader with the courage to be able to confront and deal with the problems of this country. One of the biggest problems of this country, illegal mining. The president, if you heard him over the last, a few days, when he read tributes in memory of all these 8 individuals, you would have heard that Dr. Omani Mwaba, for instance, was his closest confidant. Someone who you would expect to even walk into his bedroom to have conversations with him when people are in the living room. Because this was his defense minister. And a lot of things he would have thought about, strategies he would have put in place as to what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. Given Dr. Omani Buama's intellect, he would have played a profound role, leading role, in many of the things that we have come to know about, publicly about President John Dramani Mahama. So losing such a person, someone who was helping him deal with the crisis in Boku, someone who was helping him deal with, the challenges we're having to deal with our northern neighbors, Talk about Mali, talk about Burkina Faso, talk about Niger. He was dealing with that as well. So if you lose such a person, I mean, even if you are a king, your kingdom would be shaken by that devastating loss. Then you talk about a man he said was his protege to a large extent, Dr. Murtala Mohammed.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, to a large extent, the fight against illegal mining, whether it succeeds or it fails, would depend on the capacity of the president to marshal the necessary courage to deal with it. Now, the person he chose to play some part in this campaign was Murtala Mohammed, responsible for environment. He specifically assigned him to that space to be able to help with the fight while working with other ministers for interior, defense, and then also lands and natural resources. An equally great mind in many respects. His contributions on the floor, sometimes very turbulent, but always on the facts, or almost always on the facts. And if you are a man who inspired such an individual in his early days in Parliament, in his first assignment as minister or deputy minister, as the case may well have been, I think that you would be broken by his early demise, especially as the assignment you have given him, he was on his way to execute a part of that when this happened. Then you speak about Limuna. I mean, if you speak to people close to the president, this was also a very close confidant. He called him his younger brother because he was managing almost everything for him up north. His huge farm, he was supposed to be the man running that for him and was carrying out many other assignments for him and on his behalf in the northern part of the country. So it's a profound loss that will be irreplaceable. You cannot replace the same.
True.
You understand?
True.
Then you talk about the vice chair of the party, the member of parliament, the aspiring member of parliament for Boise East constituency, Samuel Abuaji, and the military officers who died in the process of, conveying our nationals, our officials to the Boise area to do this national assignment. It is a huge loss, and it will have a major impact on the president. And that is why I say that anytime you go down on your knees to pray, you may well have to say a prayer for the president, because challenges like this, moments like this, can either lead us on the wrong path or put us on the right path to recovery. And I pray that some way, somehow, through our collective and individual prayers, the president will find the right space in his mind to be able to properly internalize this loss and find strength in it to be able to prosecute the agenda of state in a winning way, so that the true legacy of his regime would have taken off on a moment like this, at a moment like this, however tragic.
Francisca, for 8 men leaving home on Wednesday, 6th August, saying goodbye to their wives and family, hoping to return to dinner, but that wouldn't be the case. I mean, it emphasizes the fleeting and temporary nature of life, doesn't it?
I mean, you're pushing me into a philosophical arena. And I mean, certainly, I agree. Life is indeed fleeting. It's no one knows tomorrow. What we can do is make the best of today. Neither of the 8 knew that they were going to depart on the day. If you listen to the tributes of their family, their children, their wives, nobody knew, nobody expected this. And for me, that signals that life is indeed precious. Life must be lived to the fullest. And it's significant that these men were involved at the time of the unfortunate incident in an activity with the intention to curb the Galamsey problem. And so it brings the opportunity, as they have departed, the opportunity for those who continue to live, the opportunity for leadership, the opportunity for Ghana as a country to permanently address the menace of Galamsey. I think that that will be the best way to honor and respect their memories. That will be the best way to honor and respect the memories of any other Ghanaian who has died by reason of illegal mining. And I think a huge burden lays on the shoulders of the president. He, as it stands, is the leader of the nation. He's also the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. All eyes are going to be, or are already, on the president. He indicated in previous remarks his personal grief and his grief as a president. I mean, it was sad to watch the president break down. It was sad to watch the First Lady break down in tears as well. Right. Ministers of State reading sorrow on their faces.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, we were able to connect with him, given the circumstances.
Francisca, hold that thoughts for me. Let's take our viewers to the Black Star Square in Accra, where the service has just commenced.
While we wait for the rep from NADMO, National Security Council Secretariat should get ready, followed by the Ghana Armed Forces, Ministry of Defense, and Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, and National Democratic Congress. Thank you.